So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome Mr. Keeren S. Rajoo, the first participant for FameLab.
By the year 2050, global demand for food is expected to rise by 70%, while our food production rates will slowly decline. In other words, in the future, there'll be way more mouths to feed, but we'll be producing less food. The decline in food production is caused primarily due to the continuous degradation of farmable lands. That is, less and less lands are becoming available or capable of cultivating food crops. The reason behind this land degradation is rather ironic. It's due to widespread applications of fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides, the very chemicals that we use to maintain our current agriculture systems. Therefore, it's obvious that we need a new approach in obtaining our agriculture products. An approach that is both environmentally friendly and also improves food production. One such approach is agroforestry. Agroforestry is the combination of agriculture and forestry technologies. Essentially, the idea is that we plant agriculture crops, such as oil palm or maize, alongside forest trees and forest plants, meaning that in an agroforestry system, there would be several different plant species. And since these systems are reflective of a forest, animals are attracted and commonly inhabit the systems. The biggest advantage of agroforestry is that it improves soil fertility naturally. Just like a natural forest, agroforestry systems obtains its much needed land nutrients from natural sources, such as nitrogen-fixing trees, foliage from trees, or even fecal matter from animals. Besides that, predatory birds commonly inhabit the system, actively feeding on agriculture pests. Therefore, these systems doesn't need any form of chemical applications. Besides that, besides being environmentally friendly, these systems also improve agriculture yield due to reduced light intensity. Plants need light to produce its energy in a process known as photosynthesis. However, too much light inhibits photosynthesis and can sometimes even be harmful to certain agriculture plants. The solution? Plant agriculture crops under the shade of forest trees. This improves both the quality and quantity of the agriculture products. In fact, the most impressive improvement has been witnessed in a region which has always struggled with food shortages, Africa. Researchers estimate that in just 10 years, Africa will only be able to feed 25% of its population. However, when agroforestry was tested in Eastern Africa, food production tripled. Perhaps the future to feeding the world's growing population lies in emulating Mother Nature. Thank you.
Never mind. What would be the two major challenges of doing that in this country, and where do you think this is practical to do at the moment?
Okay, the major challenges of agroforestry is knowledge. There's a lack of awareness on the importance or the capability of agroforestry. People generally just do not acknowledge that the long-term effects of agroforestry, right? So we need to disseminate knowledge. That's the most important thing. Secondly, it can be applied anywhere. It can be applied in any farmable land, any arable land, anywhere there's agriculture. We just simply plant forest trees or forest plants, making a system which is ideal to produce agriculture products. And this is already being implemented in southern Brazil, in Philippines, in Africa. Only we are still a bit lagging behind in these agroforestry systems due to lack of knowledge.
Any other feedbacks and questions from the judges?
Can I ask how? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear.
Can I ask how scalable this is? So if we need to produce more food,
Okay.
you need an increase in the amount of land and the amount of food being produced. So how scalable is this?
I understand. Actually, it can be applied for both small-scale farms, like it's being applied in Philippines for rural farmers, where they only use like 1 or 2 acres. It can also be applied for like thousands of acres, like in Eastern Africa, like in Zambia and Malawi, where there's a state-funded initiative to fund these kind of programs. So all it takes is actually just a little bit of knowledge. And it does not take much technology, because with the information on how should we plant and how should we maintain the systems, it can be applied anywhere, small, big, medium. Just knowledge. That's the only inhibitor.
How do you propose to make our young generation, the Gen Y, interested in this?
The good thing about Gen Y is that they currently understand the importance of sustainable methods of obtaining agricultural products or anything. They are more informed. Information is something which is they acquire. So the only thing we need to do is make this information more accessible. Developed countries already have access to this information. That's why they are demanding corporations like Nesvita, Ferrero to obtain sustainable products, which they are also investing in agroforestry systems. So the only thing we need to do is explain to these youngsters on the importance of sustainable agriculture through agroforestry.
All right, Mr. Keeren, thank you very much.